morning to you all, and a very, very warm welcome to our grazing conference, Grazing for Growth. Delighted to see there's a big turnout, and of course you'll have noticed, because you were all registered for this several weeks ago, we had to change venue due to the level of enthusiasm, and that in itself just, I think, rings a real chord of how important we're seeing grass growth, and a refocus almost on the importance of grass growth within Scotland being our largest crop. I'm also delighted to look around the room and see the age profile, and I'm not looking at John Cameron when I mention that, and I see we've got a great crowd of younger farmers, so I guess people under 50 would probably be in the predominance here in the room, so I'm delighted to see that. And I say under 50 because that brings me into the category too if I keep it as wide as under 50, so anyway, I'm delighted to see you all here. A couple of hours of housekeeping I've got to tell you. You'll not be surprised, there's no fire alarm planned this morning, so if a fire alarm goes off, there's exits at the back and exits apparently behind the curtain as well, suitably placed there. Please put your mobile phones on silent. You'll see from the agenda that it's quite a tight-packed event. That's what happens, of course, when the industry development team develop the agenda, then ask me to chair it, and you can see it's going to be quite a scamper through to get all our speakers fitted in. You'll also notice there is no formal Q&A this morning. Now, it's not because we've had an oversight on that. Within the pack on your desk, there are post-it notes, and I would encourage you to take notes and to write down questions as they come to you during the talks. Leave them in the middle of the table, and they will be collected, and those questions will be dealt with in the groups at the farm in the afternoon. If you have a really burning issue after a talk, and then there's a moment or two of time, I will bring in a question or two, so we'll try and accommodate a few questions. Similarly, at coffee time, if you just treat that as almost a comfort break to scamper out, grab a cup of coffee and bring it back in, we can keep the discussion going, and there may be time to take one or two questions at that time as well. So, very much interactive today in the afternoon, especially with Grazing for Growth, and we've got a fantastic lineup of speakers, of whom I'll say much more as I introduce them individually. We're going to start in a second or two with Michael Blanche from QMS, one of our industry and knowledge transfer specialists. And Michael, of course, for those of you who've heard of him before, will realise he is a real grass enthusiast and a passionate grazer. Why is it important, of course? Well, grass is our largest crop in Scotland, and I guess all of us are underutilising it to greater or lesser degrees, some of us probably to great degrees, and we've all got a lot to learn, I think, on what we can do differently with grass. Other things that are happening in the industry, many of you might have been to the Planning for Profit roadshows, and again they had a general theme amongst them of improving our productivity, of getting more from less. Sustainable intensification might be the term we've heard used. What does it mean? Well, nobody really knows, but I guess it means more from less. If you can produce more grass, more beef per hectare from your grass-based system, that has to be the way forward. One thing you're not going to hear about today is CAP. Okay, so it's a kind of CAP-free zone this today. You'll be delighted. Maybe that's why there's a great turnout. There's no chat about CAP, and no chat about the referendum either. So it's two fantastic things we're not going to speak about today, and hopefully you'll find that a breath of fresh air. I'm going to hand over to Michael Blanche, who's going to take you through some other issues of what's happening, and we'll go on from there. Very tight time. Michael, you're on.
Thanks, Jim. I feel quite emotional actually, because this is a day I've been dreaming of all my life, a grazing conference in Scotland. Anyway, I want to start with an apology, and it's only to a proportion of you, but some of you in the audience, this will be the first day of the rest of your lives, because it will be the first day an obsession starts. And first you start thinking about grass, you know, off and on, and then you think about grass more and more and more, and it takes over. And then you talk about grass to other people, and then your children start calling you boring. And then you're lying in bed with your wife, and she asks, "What are you thinking, darling?" And you reply, "Grass." So yeah, just be careful about that. Yes, right, okay. I just want to just put things in context very briefly And I want you to look at the left-hand side of the slide and the right-hand side of the slide. And many of you might have been to a grassland event, either north or south in the recent weeks, and you'll have seen something to the effect on the left. Now, you spot the grass on the left-hand picture. Now, I want you to ask, what is more profitable? Left or right? Just think about that. It should really be metal in big letters, and then grass in the market small. And then another piece of context, there's two feeds, feed X and feed Y. We're going to go through them in 11 ME. They're kind of similar, aren't they? 11 ME, 11.5 ME, kind of similar in energy. Feed Y is actually a wee bit better in protein. One's 5 times the price of the other, and the other is actually slightly better. So what are they? Feed X is a TMR ration for growing cattle, and feed Y is good grazing, grazing that's managed well. So what do you want to do? You want to go to feed merchants and ask for something 5 times the price or 1/5 of the price. I just want to explain very briefly what we're going to do in the next 3 years for QMS in terms of our grass and grazing project. We set up 6 stations. We call it Team Grass Station. And these are 6 individuals around the country. Most of them are here. In fact, I think all of them are here. And we're measuring grass growth, grass quality, soil temperature. We're going to dig deeper into soil conditions, literally and metaphorically. And Mr. X his identity can't be revealed. So, grazing host, the other thing is, and we want to really push this in terms of focus, numbers, weights, measurements. We want to have grazing groups, and we've chosen the hosts already. Most of them are actually in the audience, and we're then going to ask the host to help choose a facilitator. So it's the other way around from normal. And the host is going to have a big part to play, and the group members are going to have a huge part to play as well. There's going to be a maximum of 20 in the group, 20 levy-paying businesses, and we're going to have 4 meetings a year, and we're going to get experts from across the water and from within Scotland and the UK to come and deliver our primary objective, and it's the focus that we're really concentrating on. So to increase the kilograms of meat produced per hectare through better utilisation of grass. We're not wanting to increase costs, but we're wanting to increase output. That could potentially be a really huge answer in the red meat sector in Scotland. So, in terms of today, we're going to have the talks on the farm. Jim's already mentioned this. I would urge you, I love asking daft questions, but it's sometimes quite embarrassing. So what you've got here is anonymity. You can write anything you want to know on these post-it notes, stick it in the middle of the table. No one knows you've asked it. Please ask the questions. If we can't get to it this afternoon, we'll take a note of it and we'll put it up on the website, and all your questions can be answered. And then, I want you to develop an obsession, then go home for your families. And therefore, that's all I've got to say, and really the real stars are on next. Okay?